you take a show for 300 rands where they should be paying you 5K because I want to do the show. I want to be inside.
Yeah.
You know, not knowing how you go back home.
Hi, this is Punk Mbedzi, and welcome to Music and Other Stuff, where we talk about everything music related and other things that you need to know about music. We have been forced to see a lot of changes in the music industry, and people had to also relook at some of their models on how to do eventing. And today I'm joined by Mr. Valentine Mphahlele.
How's it, my brother?
We're just going to be chatting a bit. I'm good, man. Just going to be chatting a bit about the future of eventing in South Africa, you know, and what to look forward to in the near future. So tell us a bit about yourself and what you do.
So yeah, man, as you said, I'm Valentine. I've been working in the industry for a long time. I think I hosted my first event in 2012. No joke, no nothing. Just as friends, we're learning, you know, how to host. You know, I've worked with Cotton First, Working the Daisies, Opi Kopi, a lot of the big festivals in the country. I've hosted my own. I do a lot of corporate stuff. You know, I'm in different sectors, music. I'm a manager. I'm a booking agent. So I understand what's not having
all trades.
You know, and trust me, I understand how eventing has really affected the whole supply chain. So it's quite hectic.
And a lot of people think, like, when you say, when we having this conversation, that the music, the eventing industry has only has only affected the artists. They don't realize that there's a lot, there's a model, there's a lot of people that are being affected.
Catering people, security.
Yeah, so tell us a bit about that, like the people that have been affected, you know.
I think, you know, you think about an event, the stars of the show, it's 10 people. You know, it's the artist.
Yeah, the lineup.
You know, it's for Punk. You know, the headliner. But, you know, now you think about, okay, if I'm having an event, there's a venue. What about the venue owners, the guys who invested millions into clubs?
Sure.
You know, it starts there. Somebody's leasing. You know, some of these venues don't own the land. They don't own the actual venue. So they're in a contract with somebody else.
Yeah.
Does that guy care or COVID is here? We don't know. You know, everyone is dealing. You think about the employees, the waiters, security, the cleaners. How many families are they feeding? Some of them, they're the breadwinners at home. You know, so it's a chain reaction. You think about the managers, the booking agents, you know, the promoters themselves. Some of these people don't have 9 to 5s.
Yeah.
You know, I don't have a 9 to 5. My entire income is based on the entertainment industry as a whole.
Yeah.
So you think about how right now there's a driver out there who probably didn't have his own car, got hired by a artist. He doesn't have a job now because I'm not going to shows.
Sure.
Or I'm going to shows, but it's near. I don't need a driver anymore. It's not like driving to Mpumalanga, Lenging. My friends are driving me around. Because anyway, I used to charge 40,000. I'm charging 15 now. My manager must get a cut. You want to get paid. Photographer, another people, photographer.
Yeah.
You know, road managers. So COVID has really wiped out a lot of income for a lot of people. Yeah. You know, who are dependent on these shows. You know, I mean, artists still make a lot of money off of the music, some, you know, with streaming. Yeah. So there's a safety net, there's sync deals, you know. So as an artist, if you know, your things were going well, you kind of are a bit protected. Yeah. You know, you're collecting from Samro, your music is on radio. But now, the driver doesn't have equity in that. Yeah. So it's like, my man, this is my money, you know. So,
I'm working for it there, yeah.
You know, I'm working through the music. Your job is done. So you can imagine how the scale is huge.
And I think also, like, what has affected that is people's perception on this industry. Like you were saying earlier on, it's the entertainment industry. You know, that's all you've done. That's all you do right now, you know. And because it's labeled that. For a lot of people, it's entertainment, it's fun, it's groove.
It's a joke.
And for people in the industry, it's work, you know. And how do we, you know, change the perception or the perspective of people to not only view it as entertainment, but also to view it as a viable and like income, business. Yeah.
You know, I think, honestly speaking, I've said COVID's been good and bad at the same time.
Yeah.
You know, it's really showed people that, listen, you know, this is a big industry. First of all, I think people didn't notice how huge this industry is.
Yeah.
And I think what's happening right now is that people actually notice that it's a multi-billion industry.
Yeah.
And I think it's shed light on how many people it feeds, you know, the whole ecosystem. I think what we can do also, I always say is a professionalism.
Yeah.
You know, it starts
100%.
from letting your friends know when they're like, hey, Valentine, my man is playing Kaika. I'm like, whoa, what do you mean?
I'm fucking guest list.
You know, like, my man, guest list is for the photographer, the road manager, the driver, me and the artist. Maybe once in a while we have a space to bring a guest.
Yeah.
You know, a friend of the artist who's coming out of the city or whatever, you know. But I have to be respectful to the promoter because it's loss of sales. Why aren't you buying a ticket? Why must I now have a guest list of 10 people? How does the promoter make his money back? I think it starts with simple things like educating your friends, educating people around you, you know, by telling them that, no, my G, it actually works like this, it works like that. It's also with us, you know, I mean, obviously, for example, I grew up with parents who really didn't believe in the whole entertainment music. You want to be a DJ? I mean, I didn't want to be a DJ, you know, growing up, but that's because I didn't have a mentor to tell me, nah, Ntanga, you know, you can be a manager, you can be a booking agent, you can be a promoter. I didn't know there was this whole industry. You know, nobody really educated us. Or nah, Ntanga, you know, there's A&R. You can be a record label manager. For us, those things were far-fetched. It was like, Sony, work at Universal.
Yeah.
I can't even get my song there. How do I get to work there?
Sure.
So I think it's us educating, you know, it's mentoring, it's having podcasts like this.
Yeah.
It's us having conferences, seminars, talking about these things, educating the younger generation, telling them that I say 100 people, how are you all DJs? You know, I mean, we had this conference with Boki. And in Pretoria, and I was telling them, I was like, guys, everyone is a DJ. Who are the managers? Who are the booking agents? You know, not everyone is gonna be a DJ, and it starts with people being truthful, people teaching people that there's other things you can do. You don't have to be a musician, because remember, we love the music, we're passionate, so we're like, oh, I also want to make music, because that's the first thing you think about being in the industry.
Sure.
So it's changing that perception and saying, guys, there's a whole structure. There's other things you can do that keeps you in the industry, but you don't necessarily have to be the artist.
Yeah, and I think when we look at how people run this model or abroad, like they have it spot on, you know, like I love what you're saying. Not everyone is supposed to be on the spotlight, you know, and has to have the limelight and be there, that artists, the performers, the DJs, and we need to educate people more, like you're saying, you know. And even throughout this period, you know, a lot of people, artists, people in the entertainment industry, let me put it that way, have felt a bit under-supported by, you know, people like government and all that, you know. Because of that, because it stems from that, people not seeing this as an industry, not like you just shut down events or whatever, or like decisions being made and they affect this industry, but not realizing at what depth, you know. How can we, like, how do you think we can change, you know, that view as well? Because right now you're talking about how our peers view it, but also like high up there, like in government as well. How can we also get support from them and, you know, work with them?
To be honest, I'm just thinking about it like in a simple way. You look at corporate.
Yeah.
You know, banks, private sector, all these guys, they support events, you know, with activations. You know, SAB obviously is a huge part of the industry. You know, the alcohol brands, they've invested because they understand their part, their role in the ecosystem. Government knows this. We don't have to tell government. Government had Womapungu, Wodi Tsepinto, Makufe, they have all these festivals they fund.
Yeah.
You know, they know how big this ecosystem is. I just think because of, you know, the corruption and the bad dealings in the back room of government is what's killed the arts department, you know. You think about, they say they have 300 million or something like that.
Yeah.
For the first time when COVID happened, they're like, no, guys, this 300 million apply. Bro, I didn't even apply. I was like, people were telling me, yo, dog, here's a link. None of them got money. None of them.
It's unfortunate,
and it's because also government, they have these projects, you know, you can apply for funding. It's not that it's all bad, but they don't educate people enough. You know, they don't reach out. They don't post enough and say, hey, guys, we actually have funding for 20 podcasts per 6 months.
Yeah.
So if you don't get this one, there's another cycle linking. Also, maybe record, come to us and show us. And we can say, bruh, here's 1 million over 5 years, 200,000, 20,000 a month.
Yeah.
We've given you a budget. We'll help you. You know, we'll help you. If you need some of these artists we work with in government that run these programs, we can get you a big name. These guys know these things. It's like, you can't tell people something they already know and think, you know, it's going to change. And hence, we've been forced to do it ourselves. You know, I mean, a perfect example is a Rage. They contacted the Department of Health. They said, guys, we want to host. How do we work with you guys? They had people from WHO. One of the only events I know that hired people from the WHO to come, view, you know, consult, and advise. They had the director, you know, from health, KZN, involved. You know, it always looks like, you know, the media will come, hey, Rage, super spread or whatever. But the reality is that people do work with government. People do reach out. You know, we send emails. It's not like we're sitting at home, hey, government was
waiting for a
we
gig.
send like, guys, we have plans. You know, another perfect example was Georgia Vakian when with Stain Entertainment. When COVID was starting, they were like, guys, we know how to build festivals. We can build clinics. Those tented ones.
Yeah, I think I remember seeing that.
He posted it. He even gave them the plans. Like, we don't even have to do it.
Yeah.
Here is a strategy. If the hospitals are full, this is how you can build a sustainable off-site medic center. But will people clap hands for the entertainment industry? You know, until said it, they said, guys, we have people. We know how to bring people. We can vaccinate them.
Yeah.
You know, we can give you strategies. We can set up vaccination points for you and stuff like that. Did it happen? I don't know. Maybe they're working with them. Maybe they're not. But that's something like, it always looks like the entertainment industry doesn't do enough, doesn't reach out, doesn't. People always think like a DJ sitting at home, a manager sitting at home, these events companies are sitting at home. They're not. They're engaging with stakeholders. You know, there's meetings with guys like SAB because remember, when the country's closing, SAB is losing a lot of money.
Yeah.
You know, Lobana, they're trying to find out how do we make sure it's safe? You know, how do we make sure that we put a bit of our corporate spend into assisting event promoters to host safer spaces? You know, and obviously these are chats in the background. You know, we're not engaging with Cyril on the TL going like, hey, Cyril. So Ntangalena is not saying, oh, I see. You know, these are chats that are being had in the background. And I just think like, you know, it's all about people having ethics, morals, you know, having pride in what they're doing and just really doing their jobs at some point. Because, you know, I'm personally tired.
Yeah.
Like, you know, COVID has taken away like 2 years of my life.
Sure.
You know, a decade of working to get to somewhere. COVID happens. You know, now you're spending your savings. You don't even know. Like, I remember there was one night I'm crying there. I'm like, do I still want to be in this thing?
Sure.
You know, I've reached out to the people I can. You know, some are helping, some are saying, let's do this, let's do that. So you also get tired. You know, you can't go back to government and always tell them the same thing.
Yeah. And like, I'm just thinking about it right now. Like, you're just one of so many people who are experiencing what you're experiencing, like the emotional toll that, you know, this big change COVID has brought into the entertainment industry and the events particular. And, you know, people have been trying, like you said, people have been trying to do virtual events as well. it hasn't been a solution. It hasn't solved anything, but it has been an alternative.
I mean, it's an option. It's a viable option. Corporate bought ad space, and it's exciting. Here's 1 million. Be on channel or it's exciting. Listen, it's one of the things that's like, it's the goods and the bads of COVID.
Yeah.
People have now innovated. It showed like, if you don't innovate and adapt, you'll be left behind. But also, like, my man, you're watching a TV there, it's Friday, you have 2 drinks, maybe you have your friend at least. But I'm just saying, imagine during COVID, where people couldn't visit each other.
Yeah.
You're sitting there, it's lockdown house party, the DJ's going in, and you feel, oh, this music is slapping, but you're just like, my man, it's not like when I'm with my friends, when I'm at the rhythm, go Cafex, and it's thumping, Punk is dropping that song you love. You've had a long week.
Yeah.
You just want to release, as much as it was sold as the future, virtual concerts are not. That's not the industry. It will never be the future because people are going to get tired of it. People, right now already, people are tired of it. I've seen people just go like, yeah, it's nice. It's a nice dream. But that's for during the week, I'm working and I put Black Coffee's Ibiza Sunset set.
Yeah.
And, I'm typing my invoices, sending emails. That's nice. But when it's Friday, Thursday, it hits 7. You want your phone to ring. You feel alive. You wear your best sneakers. That's what it's about. It's about going out, being in those spaces. And remember, like, it's like with Afrotech, you get there, like, a lot of people stream it now. But when you had Deep in the City, when you had Kunya, when you had UR, when you are part of people who love the music, you get goosebumps. Every time you walk to the venue, like, now, I come early at Deep in the City, I get goosebumps. I'm like, I'm going to have a good Sunday.
Sure.
My artists are like, hey, let's go to show. I'm like, guys, Sundays are for me. Like, I need to enjoy the music. I'm a consumer too. You think about people who are like me and you. I'm sure you recorded some stream there. You're enjoying the music, but you're looking into a camera. You're like, usually it's somebody there going like, oh,
like, sure,
now you feel alive. You're like, okay, this set is going in. The people are reacting. Now when you're at home, you're looking into a camera. You're even trying to enjoy yourself, but deep down, you're like, it's whatever.
Yeah.
I recorded for 1 hour. But it's really just that, man. There's some things you can't change.
I'm guessing it's not the future for you. Like,
it's not
virtually
future, man. Virtual events. They're boring.
No, I feel you, man. And we're also just chatting about this, about planning events, like, event is not just, I just sit down, I'm like, yo, let me do a lineup. And there's a lot of planning, that, especially with festivals, there's sometimes even a year worth of planning, to prepare for an event. Some months and all these things, With COVID, we've seen like anything is like you can plan and then changes like this. How has COVID affected the planning, like the planning of events, and how do you execute?
Companies like for Homecoming, Until, who, because their model is hosting almost every weekend, it's easy for them. It's seamless. Then there's guys like us who, you want to go big, it takes time. And the issue with it is that you want to book Punk for September 2022 already now. You want him to be your headliner. COVID can change that in the next 5 months.
Sure.
You have sponsors right now. They're telling you we can give you 500,000, 1 million for the show. In 6 months, they might just go like, my brother, we know where, but you see, dates keep on changing. Now you spoke to a production company that you wanted to do your stage linging.
Yeah.
You're going back and forth. They want 1 million from you. And you're like, guys, I can't confirm because now my investors are out. It's easier. I can say that the thing is that there's the 2 parts where there's companies that host every week and it's easier because You can do it small. You can control it. You also have time to practice.
Yeah.
Because you do it once, so like, we failed here with sanitation,
trial and error, yeah.
So, it's easier for you in a month to say, oh, we found a formula that works. Then you have the branch, then homecoming is running. Until with good morning, you are able to practice and see your faults and if you have government officials, they can say, hey, we didn't like this, we didn't like that. Your consultants can come help you. So it's easier when the model is small and a lot more.
Yeah.
But when it's festivals that put in 40 million,
it's a different story.
Different ball game. Where you host one weekend in a year, it's not easy. You're talking about having international headliners. Now their schedule is also changing. It makes your life difficult because you've booked them for this date.
Yeah.
Now, if you change again, it doesn't mean next year, the same date, they're going to be available. Already it's a mess. You need them to commit.
Yeah.
Because Lubana, they might just say, my man, we agreed on 200,000, but I was still coming up, US dollars. I now am the biggest thing in the world. So if you want me, I want 1 million US dollars. Now you're like, hey, what must happen now? Like, we sold tickets. This guy's renegotiating. Because in fairness, there is a contract and they didn't cancel on you. They said, now we'll give you a new date. And it's been a year. Remember, contracts at times, they have time limits, expirations.
Yeah.
They can say you can postpone, but only for 6 months. Deposit non-refundable. You paid 100,000 USD, 1.4, 1.5 million. Everything is, there's people who will work in good faith. But there's some people who are like, my man, a contract's a contract.
Still business at the end of the day.
Still business, my G. I have new gigs coming in and I'm not going to say no. I'm going to say no to another 3 million because of you. Nah, my G, I can't. You need to get your things organized. So it's those small things. I'm not even talking about like Bojok, where you can go to your municipality, work with, police, emergency services. I'm not even talking about that. That's fine. It's easy to do. You can always go back, say, hey, guys, we're postponing. Can we extend, whatever?
Yeah.
It's still happening. We're changing it. Those are the easy stuff.
Yeah.
The difficult stuff is now where a production company, you've booked it for the 10th. Let's say Gearhouse, the biggest thing. You've booked FMB. They're bringing out, this show is so big, let's just say Global Citizen. All the equipment is out for that show that you are preparing. You're like, I'm bringing Beyonce, guys. This is big. I want everything. Like, I need to make sure she send me a technical rider. We need to make sure this show is perfect. You postpone. Beyonce's like, Sharp, I can't come in December. I'll come in February. Gearhouse is like, we have Ultra Music Festival, my man, on that date. All the equipment is out.
Yeah.
That's already a problem. It's scheduling.
Sure.
And Beyonce's like, my man, if you don't have the stuff, I don't use DNB, I use L-Acoustic. And there's only one company in the country that has L-Acoustic big enough to host a Beyonce show. Those are the small but big things people don't understand about hosting shows. Like, they're always just thinking, Mama is gonna get late for a show, it's stress. But man, that's stressful on the show day. It's nothing. It's completely nothing. There's small things that can really just flip an event.
And the schedule of the event,
and it just destroys everything. Because remember, like, Solange was sick for Afro Punk, but she came the next year.
Yeah.
It's small things like that. Hey guys, it's Monday, I'm not feeling well. My doctor said I shouldn't travel. Hey, production house, like, my man, now our cancellation fees a month before. So you've paid us, we can't refund you because we should have been doing another show.
Yeah.
Minus 1 million.
Sure.
All right. If you don't want to do the show, for example, if Solange is your headliner and you can't have anyone else in that week to replace her, what happens now?
Yeah, there's a lot of moving parts.
There's a lot of moving parts. There's caterers. They tell you, we've already bought the food, my guy. So what must I do? I've bought 100,000 worth of VIP catering, prawns, dinging. People bought, Old Mitchell bought 100,000 VIP box, Vodacom bought all of them paid. You took the money, you paid me, I paid my suppliers. And that's what people don't understand, that flow of money.
Yeah.
Once it's out of your hands, it's difficult
how to bring
get
it back.
you know. It's like even with COVID, people, you know, promos. I had to send when they said 21 days first. I was like, okay, guys.
Oh, you mean last
guys,
year in
you
March?
know, the first one I was like, okay, guys. Obviously, we'll postpone for new dates. Everyone was happy. All the promoters, sure, fair, good. Then they're like, hey, we're extending it. We'll see. So, you know, they come back. Me as a manager, we've clocked 200K or whatever in show fees, deposits, not even the full things, deposits. We've paid rent, chief. You know, we've paid the rent, we've paid we've paid things, we've bought groceries. I'm saying the manager, the artist, everyone. All of we've paid photographers. They want deposits to come take pictures.
Yeah.
You know, you must secure. And we're like, the money is gone, my guy. Like, if you want a refund, it's gonna be a problem. What me and you need to do is just say, let's survive COVID. We'll get these guys who you can think 2020, they've paid one of my artists. We haven't done a show with them still. We're always trying to figure out a new date.
That's so unfortunate, man.
You know, and I give them first preference. I'm like, bro, whatever date you want, let's do it. But now it's like they also need to be ready. They can't just host in June, July. They want to host in September. In September, I'm like, but my brother, this guy's in Mexico. Like, you know, you told me late. So that's the back end of just the scheduling, you know.
Yeah.
Which is a big pay.